Hello everyone,
Hello, ma'am.
I'm Kausalya, your hair trainer from Lakmé Academy in Indiranagar. So today we are going to learn about the topic tools. So tools plays very important role in our hairstyling. Okay, so here we are going to see some of the most important tools which we use during our styling time. So we'll be learning what are the do's and what are the don'ts. Okay, so in this chapter, we are going to cover about scissors. We are going to cover about combs. We are going to cover about the brushes. So first of all, we are going to start with the scissors. So majorly, if you're going to see about the scissors, we have two types of scissors. One is your hair cutting scissor, another one is your thinning scissor. So basically, both are scissors, but they have two different benefits. So this is a scissor, okay, which is meant for hair cutting purpose, not meant to cut any kind of other materials like your papers or threads. It's only meant to cut your hair. And usually the what is the right size to use a scissor or to purchase a scissor is when you're measuring the scissor, okay, it should be 1 inch shorter to your palm size. So this would be the right size for your hands. Okay, so we do get it in different ranges, different sizes and different brands. So some of the brands are your iconic Mr. Barber, you have Craft Pros. So these are the professional ranges of product. Next, moving on to your thinning scissor. Thinning scissor is mainly used during your men's barbering. Okay, so this scissor, it's not same as your previous one. So you can see the difference over here. So they are not the same blades on together. One side they are comb in size, one side they are blade in form. So why we use this is, so this scissor is not going to give you a proper cut. It's going to give the volume in your hair. To reduce the density in your hair, we are going to use the thinning scissor. So next, moving to combs. When we are going to combs, starting from your detangle comb, okay, which is also called as Z comb. So why it is called as detangle comb or the Z comb is usually we use this for the detangling purpose. You can see the spacing of the bristles, how they are larger and wider in space. So to detangle the hair and also during your styling the hair to create texture or to create lines in your styling purpose, we use this comb. Next, moving to your hair cutting comb. So you can see the difference between the previous comb and this comb. So this is called as your hair cutting comb, where you can see two different spaces between the bristles. One side it is widely spaced, other side it is closely spaced. So in this comb, usually we use it for hair cutting purpose. Okay, so the wider the space the comb is, so someone who is having a curly hair, when you're going to do an A-line haircut, we'll be using this. So this will give you a minimum tension on the hair. Okay, the smaller side will give you the maximum tension on the hair. Okay, next we do have in the same form, we do have men's barbering comb also. So you can see the difference between this and this, the size, the shape. Okay, one of the end is tapered, the other side is larger in size. So the flexibility of this comb and the hair cutting comb will be different. This will have a good flexibility. Why we call it as men's barbering comb is, so you can see the men's hair how short it is. So when we are going to do a scissor over comb technique, so the smallest part of the hair also should come inside your comb. So usually you would have seen in your barbers like they do this scissor and the comb in this direction. So during that time when you're going to use this type of a comb, it will be very useful. Next, moving to your tail combs. So when we are talking about tail comb, we have two different combs. One is your metal tail comb or pointed tail comb. The other one is your plastic tail comb. So here we have two different tail comb. Both of them can be used for styling purpose. Here the plastic tail comb, why we use it is during your chemical treatments, the metal shouldn't react. So that's the reason during your chemical treatments we preferably use the plastic tail comb and also for the styling purpose. So more the flexibility of your comb, more efficiently you can do your styling. So here is your metal tail comb or pointed tail comb, which where we can take the precise sectioning. For styling we can use it, but not during your chemical treatment. Why? Because chemicals will react with the metals, so whereas we'll be using a plastic tail comb instead of metal tail comb. So done with our combs. So brushes, when we are talking about brushes, mainly we can see the flat brush and the round brushes. Okay, the flat brush is also called as paddle brush, where we use this tool to do a straight blow dry to have. So there is difference between blast dry and blow dry. So blast dry is something you're just drying the hair. Blow dry is something you're setting someone's hair. So to set someone's hair to a straight shine effect, so we use this flat brush or paddle brush. The same effect you can give it with your round brush also, but the difference is over here is you can see the size of it. So this can hold a large section of your hair, where your blow dry will become very fast. You can finish it fast and neat. So next, moving on to your round brush. So in round brush we do have different sizes, so where we can categorize them into a large round brush, medium round brush and the small round brush. So here, as the size varies, your output or the result of your blow dry also varies. So generally the round brushes, we can do a straight blow dry, we can do in curls, we can do out curls, we can do volume blow dry, anything you can do with this brush, but the result is depends on what brush you're going to use. So when you're going to use a larger brush, you will be going to get a volumized look, okay, and it will not give you a tighter curls. It's going to give you just a volume with S form of curls. As you move on to the smaller size of the brush, here we can do both straight in out curls, but when you're going to do an out curls, the size of the blowout hair will be different. So when you're using these two different brushes, the curls comes out from this brush would be tighter than your large brush. The same way when you're moving to the smaller brush, okay, it is going to give you more tighter curls, but not the volume. You want to achieve the volume along with the curl, then you will be going to your round brush with large size. And make sure that whenever you're going to do a blow dry, the size of the your hair section should fit inside the brush bristles. Okay, do not take too thick section. And moreover, before we move on to the blow dry part, a very important step that you have to use the heat protection spray on the hair before you use any kind of a heat. Okay, not only using these tools, okay, you need to know how to keep them safe and clean and hygiene. Okay, how you can keep them clean and hygiene? There are three levels. Okay, the first level would be your sanitizing, second level would be your disinfection, third level would be your sterilization. Okay, always keep your tools neat and clean before you use it on the next client. So here we are done with our scissors, comb and brushes part. How to use them in a right way. So what are their right name? What are they used for? Okay, this plays very important role. Thank you.